Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be playing another premiere draft of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and we have a couple sweet cards to pick from in our pack 1 pick 1. We have the completely colorless rare Surge Hacker mech that fits well into any deck, 4 mana for a 5/5 menace vehicle that requires 4 power to crew it, and when it enters the battlefield it deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles you control to a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. So 4 mana, deal 2 damage to opposing target and leave behind a solid vehicle body. Pretty nice card, a pretty nice pickup, mainly because it'll fit into literally any deck, being a nice colorless card there. However, the strongest card in the pack is probably Behold the Unspeakable. I think this is higher upside than Surge Hacker mech, but it does tie us to a color, so we could still start with the Surge Hacker mech just to be nice and open, but Behold the Unspeakable is a ridiculously good card, and I think it's enough better than Surge Hacker mech. I am going to take it here. Just a huge value saga, making your opponent's creatures -2/-0, then scrying 2, drawing 2, or potentially drawing a full 4 cards, and then leaving behind a nice flying trample creature. So really like Behold the Unspeakable, to the point where I'm willing to take it over the Surge Hacker mech. Here in pack 1 pick 2, we have a Banishing Slash here in white, which is solid removal. Brilliant Restoration, which is a really fun white rare. It's very color restrictive, so you want to have some mana fixing in your deck, even if you're only a 2-color deck. And this card really rewards you for having a deck full of nothing but like artifacts and enchantments. But it can be pretty powerful, and it can be pretty fun to play around with. I might just take the rare here. It's just a fun card. Banishing Slash is more consistent and pretty powerful. Don't think any of these blue cards are particularly great follow-ups to Behold the Unspeakable, especially Planar Incision and Reality Heist are just not the greatest. Yeah, I'm going to take Brilliant Restoration here. The best cards here, if you want to play it safe, though, are like Banishing Slash, Jukai Preserver, Master's Rebuke in green looking pretty good, Lethal Exploit being fine in black, but I'm going to play a little fancy here, take a Brilliant Restoration. See if we can get a blue-white deck here with just a mountain of artifacts and enchantments. So, pack 1 pick 3, Follow Lord Conda's pretty good. There are a lot of good mana value 4 or greater creatures for this to exile. It is situational removal. There will be times your opponent doesn't have a creature with mana value 4 or greater, but the times where your opponent does, this card will be very, very good. It'll exile it and give you a 1/3 defender that draws you a card when it jumps. So, pretty big fan of that. Network Terminal would be okay here, even if we're just in 2 colors. It helps cast Brilliant Restoration a little more easily. Other than that, since we're going to want a high artifact enchantment count, Roadside Reliquary is theoretically okay, but running a colorless land in a deck that needs quadruple white is a bit rough. Yeah, Ninja's Kunai's nice just because, again, it's fully colorless, fits into anything, much like that Surge Hacker mech. Ooh. It's actually kind of a hard choice. We've got multiple really good cards here. The Modern Age is a very nice, cheap saga that we can draw and discard a card off of for the first 2 turns, so that synergizes well with Brilliant Restoration in that it'll let us discard artifacts and enchantments in the early game, as well as just be a creature that's an enchantment creature to trade off and get in our graveyard. So this works really well with our Brilliant Restoration. Imperial Oath is just an incredibly powerful card. Just period. It doesn't necessarily synergize perfectly with everything we're doing in our deck, but it's just powerful. 6 mana to get 3 2/2 Samurai and Scry 3. It's just a super, super good card. One of the best cards in the set, but Modern Age is pretty close in power level. It's a very, very good card, and I do like how it potentially works with Brilliant Restoration. So it's going to be a little weird here to take Modern Age over Imperial Oath. Maybe a little bit of a contentious pick there, because Imperial Oath is very, very powerful. Pack 1, pick 5 now. We've got the Ninja's Kunai, which is solid with Brilliant Restoration. It's fine removal. Tamiyo's Completion, actually also solid with Brilliant Restoration if our opponent has like sack outlets to sacrifice whatever we've thrown Completion onto. Moon Circuit Hacker's just a pretty nice ninjutsu card in general. If you can ninjutsu this out, you're going to be drawing a card full on. If you just put it on the board, you'll be drawing a card and discarding a card every time you hit your opponent. Do like ninjutsu with like the Modern Age. Throw this back into our hand and draw a card. It's pretty nice. I like Moon Circuit Hacker in here. It's also really nice to be ninjutsuing the Behold the Unspeakable. I'll take Moon Circuit Hacker. Tamiyo's Completion and Ninja's Kunai are the next best cards, I'd say. Well, I'm happy with the colors we're in, because that's a late Imperial Oath, that's a late Modern Age. Honestly, I'm just going to go really hard on on the whole Saga Ninjutsu thing here and take another Modern Age, go really hard on the Brilliant Restoration theme as well, take as many artifact and enchantment creatures as I can, and this is an enchantment creature, so sorry Imperial Oath, we're sending some really big white signals, which is a problem. But on the plus side, our blue is incredible here. Moon Circuit Hacker, double Modern Age, Behold the Unspeakable. So if we get like cut out of white next pack, we could just turn into like a really good blue-black ninjas deck or something. Pretty happy to just take the Modern Age here. Now there's nothing good in this pack at all. It's not even that there's anything good off color. It's just all these cards are very filler. Blade Blesser, Jukai Trainee, Bunabo Seiju, a bunch of just filler nonsense. I guess Runaway Trashbot theoretically works well with Brilliant Restoration. We play our Modern Ages to fill our grave with artifacts and enchantments, so Runaway Trashbot gets bigger too. This is also an artifact creature, so if it ever dies, it will come back to the Brilliant Restoration as well. Sure. Runaway Trashbot, come on in, join the party. Mnemonic Sphere's fine. Everything in here is pretty filler except Master's Rebuke. Pretty late Master's Rebuke for a green deck. Pretty good. Walking Skyscraper's a lot of mana to play it, but it is a game ender. Big old trampler. Hexproof as long as it's untapped. I think I just want to take Mnemonic Sphere. I like being able to just spend 1 mana and draw a card off this, or you could spend the full 4 to draw the 2 cards, plus it'll end up in grave for Brilliant Restoration. Mnemonic Sphere seems kind of fun for this deck. Automated Artificer also seems fun for the deck. It's an artifact creature we get out cheap that helps us cast other artifacts. Oh, this is all nonsense. There's Master's Rebukes everywhere, just flying around. I guess we'll start scooping those up. Network Terminal, wheeled, and that's a very good sign. That's pretty good for our Brilliant Restoration, helping us get to the quadruple white, especially if blue is our more heavy color, which it looks like it right now. So pretty happy to take Network Terminal over, like Repel the Vial or When We Were Young. Late Geothermal Kami, and that's actually really good with the Modern Age and the Behold the Unspeakable. We saw really late Master's Rebukes as well. Maybe we push into green-blue Value Town. Green-blue tends to be about playing a bunch of value enchantments, like a bunch of sagas, and bouncing them back to your hand, replaying them. So really late Geothermal Kami, I'm going to see that as a pretty good sign for green alongside the late Master's Rebukes, that maybe we push into green-blue Enchantment Value Town in pack 2. Alright, so now we have a Mech Titan core if I really want to go for it with a high artifact count, but I'm really much more of the mixture kind of deck, artifacts and enchantments here. Don't think that'll work particularly well for us. We have another Runaway Trashbot, fun with the Modern Ages and the Brilliant Restoration. Spirited Companion, great if we stick to white. And then Season of Renewal if I want to really heavily hop onto the green-blue enchantment value deck. I think I want to just take Spirited Companion or Runaway Trashbot. Runaway Trashbot gets to make the cut like no matter what. Spirited Companion, we might get pushed off of white and into green here, is the problem with taking Spirited Companion. But Spirited Companion is a lot better than Runaway Trashbot generally. So I'll take Spirited Companion. Maybe we get pushed off of white here, but that'd be fine. Alright, well, even if we get pushed off of white, if we get really quality white cards in the early picks, like Touch the Spirit Realm, it's gonna make up for it a lot. And if we wheel Sunblade Samurai, that's really good with Brilliant Restoration. We need more ways to pull out planes from our deck to get towards the quadruple white, and this is a way to do that that also fills our grave with enchantments to help cast the restoration, so that's super good. But I'm gonna take the Touch the Spirit Realm here, just incredible removal. Life of Toshiro Umezawa is probably the strongest card in this pack, just an excellent, very flexible black saga there. And other than that, there's also Season of Renewal, Shrine Steward, Patchwork Automaton, a really good pack here, but Touch the Spirit Realm is the best card for us. Another Life of Toshiro Umezawa gets passed to us. That's unfortunate, because I'm just going to have to take like Uncharted Haven to help hit triple white here, or take one of the white or blue cards. I don't think we push into black here. It's possible we end up in blue-green. I don't think we're going to end up in blue-black. If I had taken Life of Toshiro Umezawa, pack 2, pick 2, maybe if I got 2 Life of Toshiro Umezawas in a row, I would end up there. But I think it's Uncharted Haven to help hit triple white, or Aegon to Exemplar to get another enchantment creature, or Covert Technician to get another artifact creature. I think I'd rather just take Uncharted Haven here. Help hit quadruple white. There's no way I'm going to play blue, green, and white and try to play a quadruple white card, which is why I wasn't interested in the green-white dual land there. I don't think it's possible we end up in green-white because we're definitely in blue. The question is if it's blue-green or blue-white. Another network terminal here. Prosperous Thief's actually a nice ninjutsu card that can get us treasure tokens to help cast Brilliant Restoration, so I like that here. Teachings of the Kirin is an okay green rare. It's pretty much on par with like a good uncommon saga in terms of power level. So I don't think I'm taking it over the solid ninjutsu card here, because again, ninjutsu is just really good with the sagas that we have. And this one making treasure tokens for us is pretty exciting. Help with our mana. Probably Tamio's Completion here, another solid removal spell for us. Nothing crazy going on in this pack for anybody, really. Nothing massively good. Although Mirror Shell Crab's a fun combo with Brilliant Restoration, we could take that instead, because we get to channel this to counter something, and then again, it'll end up in our grave to recast it. Hopefully we can get the Mirror Shell Crabs later than we get Tamio's Completion, but I think Mirror Shell Crabs could be cool in here. Iron Apprentice is fine. Papercraft Decoy is fine, just random dorky artifact creatures. Suit Up is good with a lot of ninjutsu, because then if your opponent does not block, you ninjutsu, and if they do block, then you suit up. Get a really good deal either way. Yeah, I do have a solid amount of ninjutsu. Moon Circuit Hacker, Prosperous Thief already, might get more. I could take Suit Up here. Ooh, Ecologist's Terrarium, another great way to get another white source for Brilliant Restoration, help us mana fix, and this can end up in our graveyard to help put more artifacts and enchantments in grave for the restoration. Golden Tail Disciple would be pretty nice in this deck too, because this is the kind of creature we kind of want at this point. We want some cards that'll slow our opponent down and block kind of well. This blocks well and gains life while it does so. So that would be a nice pickup, but I'm going to go for the Terrarium first, seems more important. Now we get another Terrarium, that's beautiful. Or pick 8 Season of Renewal or Master's Rebuke, jeez. Jeez, green, okay. Feeling pretty committed to this blue deck splashing Brilliant Restoration at this point. Just seems like a really fun strategy. Okay, as committed as I am, this has got to be Season of Renewal, because we're not going to play Planar Incision or Discover the Impossible. Okay. Wield the Ninja's Kunai, which is nice in our deck. Shrine Steward's also okay. We've got a Tamio's Completion to suit up with it, or to search up with it. I think I like Shrine Steward over the Ninja's Kunai here. Really nice 2-for-1 value on this card. 5 mana, 3/2 plus. Draw a removal spell out of your deck. Draw your Tamio's Completion. Alright, if I wheel the Blossoming Sands, maybe the green splash is a thing, just for some value plays like Season of Renewal or Geothermal Kami. Actually, yeah, we do have double Terrarium here. Maybe we do get to go blue, green, white. Yeah, now we get another network terminal. I guess we get to go blue, green, white, even with a quadruple white card. Thanks to our network terminal type cards. Commune of Spirits is fine in here, right? We've got a decent enchantment count. I think I need more early creatures to be able to ninjutsu though, so maybe Jukai Training. Maybe we end up in like blue-green splash the white. Splash the quadruple white card. Probably not. Ooh, Reality Chip. This card's disgusting, and it's in our main color. Easy scoop up. Easy scoop up. Slam dunk pick here. This card is ridiculous. 2 mana for a 0/4. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. If you reconfigure this for 3 mana and equip it to another creature you control, then you can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. So if you just play off the top, you end up drawing a lot of cards really quickly off this. Reality Chip is absurd. Probably should have taken that that green draw spell over Jukai Training. I don't think this actually works that well for us. Ooh, another Spirited Companion's pretty beautiful with the ninjutsu cards that we have. I think I'm going to take this because of our ninjutsu cards and Geothermal Kami. It's just really good value there. Great value to chump block with it and bring it back off of Brilliant Restoration later. It does a lot of things I really like. Greater Tanuki does synergize well with Brilliant Restoration as well, because we can discard this to tutor up the land that we need. And then obviously it's in the graveyard to come back from Restoration. But having our splash color help us mana fix is a little weird, a little awkward. I'm going to take Spirited Companion, hoping to wheel Tanuki or Blossoming Sands. High Speed Hover Bike's a really nice card for any deck as well, but I think Spirited Companion's just pretty perfect here. Another Spirited Companion or a Modern Age. I'm going to take another Spirited Companion. I want to up my count of white cards here because I'm going to want to run a decent amount of white sources in the first place just for hitting quadruple white. So we'll take Spirited Companion over the Modern Age, but the Modern Age would be good too. Both of those cards synergize really well with Brilliant Restoration. They'll both definitely either end up in our graveyard or put other things in our graveyard. Michiko's Reign of Truth's pretty powerful in this deck. We're mostly artifact enchantments. This will be a lot of damage. It's also an enchantment creature eventually, so that can get blown up, end up in our graveyard. That can fight and end up in our graveyard. Another high-speed hover bike's pretty cool too, but Reign of Truth is just so much damage. Potentially, it's massive. There's also Tamio's Completion, which is nice. We have a Completion, a Touch the Spirit Realm, and Fall of Lord Konda. Hopefully, that's enough removal. For now, another Modern Age? Wow, another Modern Age or a Shrine Steward, both really good cards. I'm going to take another Modern Age here. Even a Network Disruptor is good with the ninjutsu cards we have, but I'm taking Modern Age. It's just so fun with the Brilliant Restoration, so nice with it. This last pack's really worked out for us in terms of the quality of our white cards. Getting a couple more Spirited Companions. So we might not even have to splash the green. Yeah. We don't have to splash the green anymore. We still could. Another Uncharted Haven's great in this deck. I already have 2 terrariums. I don't think I want to run 3 terrariums, especially if I don't end up splashing the green. So I think I'm taking Uncharted Haven, which I'll definitely play. Another Uncharted Haven I'll definitely play. Another Suit Up would not be terrible. We only have 9 creatures in this deck, though, so we don't have enough creatures to consistently target with our Suit Ups. But a lot of Saga creatures, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, when you count the Sagas. But yeah, still, double Suit Up. Bit much for like the 10 to 13 creature deck. Alright, another Geothermal Kami, definitely better than Moth Rider Patrol. I guess Papercraft Decoy is a thing. It's not a great thing, though. Yeah, I'll take another Geothermal Kami. If we do the green splash, that'll be beautiful. Alright, Searchlight Companion, super solid. Nice artifact creature. Nice card to ninjutsu back to hand. Nice card to bring back with Brilliant Restoration. Super cool with that. Wanderer's Intervention for some filler removal. The one thing you got to be worried about with this card is to make sure to cast this during the Declare Attacker step, not the Declare Blocker step, so you do not get destroyed by ninjutsu, where your opponent can bounce whatever they want back to their hand when you try to destroy it. Guess I'll take Papercraft Decoy at this point because we do have a low creature count we'd like to up. Hopefully double Terrarium, triple Uncharted Haven is like good enough to get our quadruple white for restoration that I can cut these network terminals. Although drawing and discarding a card throughout the game is another way to fuel the grave with more artifacts and enchantments, but most of our enchantments and artifacts can chump block and end up in the grave that way. We'll see. We've definitely got some deck building options. We can even splash green really easily. A single forest, and we can splash whatever green cards we want. Honestly, a single forest for double Geothermal Kami seems like a solid splash to me. Because Geothermal Kami with all these, with these sagas, with these Spirited Companions, just nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Yeah, I don't even think we need the network terminals. Because we have triple Uncharted Haven, Blossoming Sands, and 1 forest with 2 Ecologist Terrariums. I think that just can get there for the green splash. And then we get to cut the Automated Artificer, I suppose, or the Papercraft Decoy. Maybe the Mnemonic Sphere. Suit Up is another potential cut. Play the 2 Geothermal Kami. Then we need to cut 4 cards, so I guess we cut these 4. Suit Up does still seem okay in this deck, but it's hard to make room for it. Like, maybe we cut Wanderer's Intervention. I do not think we can cut any Terrariums here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If you count the Sagas, we have 17 creatures, so we could cut a creature for a Suit Up. Are any of our creatures worth cutting, though? I like the Prosperous Thief just for ninjutsuing back to hand our cards, and Moon Circuit Hacker for that as well. Our weakest creatures are just like Runaway Trashbot, which is just funny with Triple Modern Age. It's probably our worst creature, but I just can't... I mean, outside of these two, I can't resist. Like, this is like the Runaway Trashbot deck. 12 enchantments, 6 artifacts, that's 18. And Triple Modern Age to get them in our grave. Ecologist Terrarium ends up in grave naturally. I can't resist. It's never gonna... I don't know, it feels like it's never gonna be that big, though. Anyway. I guess we trade off like a Moon Circuit Hacker, or we chump block with Spirited Companion, we sack a Terrarium, all of a sudden this is already a 3-4 maybe? Oh, it just doesn't even this deck, it just doesn't seem that good. I'm so tempted to just cut this thing for the Suit Up. Suit Up is like obnoxious with Spirited Companions, because their opponent's just gonna be like, yeah, it's got its value, it's whatever, it's a 1-1, it's just sitting there, that's fine. They attack into it, and then I just Suit Up. Or I attack them with a Spirited Companion, they'll be like, they're gonna ninjutsu for massive value with this companion, and then I'm like, Suit Up. Triple Spirited Companion with a little bit of ninjutsu really makes me want the Suit Up more than the Trash Bot. Because again, that play that will happen a lot, where I play a Spirited Companion turn 2, and then I just attack with it turn 3. When I'm a blue-white deck, my opponent's almost always going to make that block, because I'm threatening to ninjutsu for incredible value. Even if I only have 2 ninjutsu cards in this deck, my opponent doesn't know that. So when they see a Spirited Companion coming at them, and they have like a 2-2 blocker, they're just going to snap block, and we can get our Suit Up value out of the way. Because again, they always run that risk of, if they don't block, I could like theoretically ninjutsu anything out to put Companion back to my hand, recast it, and draw a card again, and just get huge value from that. Let alone what I could actually potentially do if I have Moon Circuit Hacker, which is pick up the Companion with Moon Circuit Hacker, deal 2 to my opponent, draw a card, draw into my land for turn 3, play the land, play Companion. I've just drawn 2 extra cards on turn 3. Absolutely disgusting. I actually kind of wish I had more Moon Circuit Hackers, because they're so good with Companion. But yeah, I mean, I think Suit Up with the Triple Companion should work pretty well in here. Probably more than Runaway Trash, but it's just not a very consistent card, even if you do have a really high artifact enchantment count like we do in this deck. I think this is probably the worst card still in our deck, outside of maybe Wanderer's Intervention, but I really don't want to lower my removal count here. So I think that's what I'm going to cut, and that'll be the deck. Alright, here we are with the completed deck that I'll be playing with today. We are in a blue-white deck primarily, trying to make good use of Brilliant Restoration as a Mega Bomb. So we have a pretty high artifact and enchantment count, so if we ever get the Brilliant Restoration cast, should be a pretty big game ender. We also have multiple artifacts and enchantments that can end up in the graveyard really easily, like Ecologist's Terrariums and Spirited Companions we can chump block, so that should be really nice. We also have Reality Chip as another pretty big bomb, letting us cast spells and play lands off the top of our library, and plenty of really good value plays. Triple Spirited Companion, Triple Modern Age, Behold the Unspeakable's huge card draw, and Shrine Steward is nice, picking up a Tamiyo's Completion out of the deck when we play it. I guess we might actually want to cut the Shrine Steward, because we do only have 1 aura in the deck. Maybe we put the Trash Bot back in instead of the Shrine Steward. I guess I'll go with that here, so that we can have the namesake card still be in the deck. But yeah, this is the actual completed list. We'll take Shrine Steward out, because if we draw Tamiyo's Completion before we draw Shrine Steward, it'll be pretty bad. But yeah, really fun looking deck here. Just a lot of value enter the battlefield effects that we can recur with cards like Geothermal Kami, or by ninjutsuing those cards back to our hand. And again, our two big bombs that we can use, Reality Chip and Brilliant Restoration, to just swing things in our favor in the late game. So without further ado, let's head into game one, see how it does. Alright, here we are, game one, facing against the official President of the United States Magic Arena account. So let's see if we can beat Mr. Biden over here. I'll keep this hand. We've got the Uncharted Haven to hit the green source if we need it. Which unfortunately, drawing triple island is awkward because we want to hit a lot of plains and then just like one island, one forest ideally. I think I'm just going to hold on to Uncharted Haven for now. Yeah, I want to be able to play Haven on white, potentially if we draw into Brilliant Restoration. Or if we draw into our forest or our green-white land. Alright, another Geothermal Kami. I probably have to play Uncharted Haven turn 3 just to get that green source down for these commies. Playing against a red-black artifact aggro deck, they got a Dragon Spark Reactor down turn 2, which is very threatening, because that's just gonna that's just gonna sit there and get bigger and bigger until it can do enough damage to maybe kill us in just one shot. Spirited Companion's a pretty great draw here. Gives us a blocker for that Simian Sling. Gives us a 2-mana play this turn, so we can get our green source down, ready for those Geothermal Kami. Twin Shot Sniper. Well, that's going to ruin the Spirited Companion play there. I might touch the Spirit Realm to exile their Dragon Spark Reactor, just so we know we're not dying to that. That would make Portrait of Michiko a 2/2 as well, so Michiko can block the 1/1 Simian Sling. So I guess they reconfigured on a Twin Shot Sniper and keep hitting us. But we're at 17, we can take some of those kind of hits. Yeah, just can't really afford to have them just next turn kill our blocker and deal 4 damage to us. Or even worse, just keep making that Dragon Spark Reactor bigger and bigger throughout this game. So our opponent has 2 cards in their hand, but they have 2 experimental synthesizers on board that they can crack to get a Samurai and draw a card. And Soul Transfer, nasty. That exiles 2. I would be very okay with them just destroying Michiko's Reign of Truth, because then at least if we draw a rare, we get it back from grave, but exiling is very sad. Alright, if we want to play a Geothermal Kami, then we're not picking up an enchantment, unless I guess I could pick up Touch the Spirit Realm and Dragon Spark Reactor would come back with 1 charge counter. It might not be horrible to do. I definitely need to play a blocker here. I guess I could be on Wanderer's Intervention this turn. Sure, I'll give it another turn. We'll Terrarium for a white source. And Wanderer's Intervention, something here. Wish Suit Up were like Majestic Metamorphosis, where you can make an artifact a 4/5 instead of just a creature or vehicle. Alright, so before Blocker's Step, we will shoot the Ward 2, so we can't shoot the Automaton. We'll shoot the Sniper. Guess they got a land off the synthesizer here. This must have been from an early synthesizer, this other Kumano Faces Kakazan, because it's not showing up in their hand. Unstoppable Ogre. That's unfortunately pretty big. A lot of damage there. Just another land for us. Things are not looking great here. 4 mana for Kami, and then I only have 2 mana up if I play an untapped land, which isn't enough to do anything. I guess I could use Terrarium to make this a 5/4. But I'd probably rather just play the Uncharted Haven. Yep. It's 3 of the 4 white sources we need if we hit our Brilliant Restoration. Not that that would actually do much here, we just get a Spirited Companion right now. Alright, Synthesizer number 2. Picks up another land. That is value. I do get to play that. They sling up something here. Sling up the Automaton. Or sling up a Vigilance creature. I don't think they sling up the Ogre because it's already big enough to trade to Kami. I assume they sling up a 2/2 and then they attack with their creatures that are all big enough to trade into the Geothermal Kami. Yep. Don't like that at all. Next turn, we'll have the mana to play Kami and hold up Suit Up, so we can just Suit Up on the next one. Right now, we'll just kill their biggest power creature. Another land for us. It is not looking good. Guess I could, again, I could pick up this Touch the Spirit Realm and recast it, so I gain 3 life, but then they get Dragon Spark Reactor back. Still don't think that's quite worth it. Just wish I had any other artifact or any other enchantment here so I could have gained the life off these Kamis. Even if it didn't have a good enter the battlefield effect, I would have been so happy to just gain 3 life here. But yeah, I don't have the mana to pick up Touch the Spirit Realm, recast it, and play Suit Up, so I'm rather just holding up the mana for Suit Up this turn. And then last turn, I guess last turn I maybe should have played my untapped land so that I could just Geothermal Kami, pick up Touch the Spirit Realm, and immediately recast it. So that at least I gained 3 life there last turn. Since I wasn't going to play Suit Up anyway. Gravelighter, that's disgusting. Yeah, it's just a really good aggressive start from our opponent, and we're not going to stop that with a pretty slow hand of our own. 8 damage here. Alright, we need to draw into something really good, so we'll use the Suit Up as a cantrip. Runaway Trash Bot. Runaway Trash Bot and lands are not anything good. Then it's going to be 0-1 to start it off. Alright, here we are on the play in game 2. Very good hand here. I am all about this. Probably start with Modern Age. Got the Uncharted Haven for green. Guess I could actually play Moon Circuit Hacker first and go Michiko's Reign of Truth next turn. And just bash in. And then I still kind of get my draw discard going, my looting going with the Hacker instead of the Modern Age. Inkrise Infiltrator. Alright, I can definitely attack into that with Reign of Truth. So we're giving +2/+2 to this Moon Circuit Hacker since it is an enchantment creature. Make sure to get the green source here. I should have waited till post-combat there, because I may have drawn another green source. If I draw my green-white dual land, then it's been way better. Actually, if I draw any green source, because then I discard the island and keep Uncharted Haven to play as a white source. Okay. Not punished for it, we just hit another island to discard. So I would have played Uncharted Haven on green post-combat anyway there, but I should have waited till I had the information of what we draw off of Moon Circuit Hacker. Black-red again from our opponent. Hopefully not as aggressive as the last deck. Our deck, as we saw before, not the greatest against aggro. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Well, might not be as aggressive, but Fable the Mirror Breaker is the best red card in Standard, not even just in this set. So it is absolutely absurd. One of the best red cards ever printed, honestly. They get a 2/2 that creates a treasure token every time it attacks. Then they get to discard 2 and draw 2. If there's any cards in hand they don't need, then they get a 2/2 that can pay 1, tap it, and create duplicates of their creatures. So that is going to be incredibly hard to beat here. If they want to double block to trade into Hacker, that's super fine by me. So let's just attack before we decide anything else here, and then decide everything post-combat. Okay, so we will draw and discard. Blossoming Sands is here. I think I like Plains Geothermal Kami. Although I don't really have an enchantment I want to bounce here, so maybe we go Blossoming Sands Modern Age. Either way, we're not using the blue source. I'm actually okay with Mishiko's Reign of Truth flipping here. Yeah, let's go for Modern Age. Get a Spirited Companion. Ooh, well, goodbye Blossoming Sands then. We're going to play that, and now we have a really good target for Geothermal Kami next turn, as well as having 4 enchantments on board for Mishiko's Reign of Truth. So opponent is now going to get to discard 2 and then draw up to that many. Discard up to 2, so if they like everything in their hand, they don't have to discard anything. But they have that option open. Discard a Dragon Spark Reactor and a land to draw 2. Oni Colt Anvil. Very, very threatening card. Maybe today is just our karmic justice for drafting the black-red artifact aggro deck twice in a row. Today is, we're just going to run up against the black-red aggro deck, get pummeled by it with a slower strategy. This deck is not playing out as fast. This deck is more likely to just kill us because they played Fable the Mirror Breaker. We're not getting like massively aggroed out of the game. It's going to take longer to lose this game. But Fable the Mirror Breaker will absolutely take it. Even if I do use the removal spell on the Kiki-Jiki half of it, it's still got them a ridiculous 3 for 1. Because they got a 2/2 that's making them treasure. They also got to discard 2 useless cards to draw 2. And then after all of that value, I'm going to have to discard Tamiyo's Completion to keep them from just absolutely overrunning us with this Kiki-Jiki. My apologies, the weather is a little bit loud today. It's a pretty chill day. Definitely a chill at home day, if I've ever seen one. So discard a card here, probably Uncharted Haven because I'm just going to play it as a white source anyway. So I would rather just have the untapped white source. Fall of Lord Konda doesn't do anything currently, all their stuff is too cheap. Probably have to just hold on to Tamiyo's Completion so that we don't get Kiki-Jiki'd. Although opponent's at 13 here, we can hit them pretty hard. We don't need to get rid of their Kiki-Jiki the turn it comes out because it doesn't have haste. The reflection of Kiki-Jiki doesn't get to use its ability for another turn. So yeah, we can do Kami this turn. Don't really have any attacks against this 1/1 construct. Wow, I didn't even realize how ridiculous Fable the Mirror Breaker plus Oni Colt Anvil is because they get those treasure tokens from the Goblin Shaman to sack the construct. You need 1 expendable artifact to get the Oni Colt Anvil going, but since they got that off the Goblin Shaman, they're good now. Now they can just keep sacking the construct and replacing it and draining me for a life. So that's rough. Yeah, I think we just Geothermal Kami here. Don't really have any attacks against this 1/1 construct. And then we pass the turn. At least we have good blockers. against their current board state. We've got some good value as well. Dragon Spark Reactor copy number 2 is coming down. They can spend 4 mana and sacrifice that to do 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to our face. Or 1 damage to a creature and 1 damage to our face. And Dragon Spark Reactor plus Oni Cult Anvil is another pretty nuts synergy, because they're going to get another artifact every turn minimum. At least 1 per turn, at least 1 extra charge counter on the Dragon Ball. This looks like it's going to be a very hard game to win. Our opponent just has some very high card quality, some Splinter Twin-esque combos here. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, Oni Cult Anvil worked together just way too well. And now it's Oni Cult Anvil, Dragon Spark Reactor. We're going to have to dump removal on the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Well, that works pretty well for us if they don't have another spell. That ended up being a 2-for-1. I guess it's not really a 2-for-1 because this goblin came out of the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, so this goblin did not cost them a full card. The Lethal Exploit did, though. Yeah, that worked pretty nicely. That gets us a little bit of value back. Now we're kind of clawing back into it. Digging our way out of this. Now we just have to deal with Oni Cult Anvil plus Dragon Spark Reactor. So here, is this a sorcery speed ability? Of course, that is unfortunate. We're going to Terrarium for the 4th Plains, and then we're just going to Tamiyo's Completion, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I guess we can attack with Portrait of Michiko now. So I guess I will. Because they can't get 1/1s off of the Oni Cult Anvil during our turn. So they don't have a great chump block here. I guess they do because they got the treasure token. They can still just chump block with this 1/1, and then they can sacrifice the treasure token to make a 1/1 next turn. But it's not like they're getting an immediate replacement of what they're chumping with. They're not getting a freebie replacement. It looks like they're just going to take the 4 or go to 10 life here. Quite nice. Now we kind of have to just complete this Kiki-Jiki so it doesn't pop off. I guess they don't have anything good to copy right now. But if I wait till their turn, they can respond by copying whatever I want to target. There's pretty much no way I'm going to have to use Tamiyo's Completion on any other creature they control. Like, if they play something really big and threatening, then Fall of Lord Khanda probably kills it, mana value 4 or greater. I guess I could Tamiyo's Completion the Dragon Spark Reactor. I don't know, this is hard. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, Oni Cult Anvil, and Dragon Spark Reactor are all incredibly big threats that can close out the game. Currently, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki didn't have anything that would copy to super good use, so maybe I was supposed to complete the Anvil or the Reactor. Kind of forgot this can get thrown at artifacts too. Yeah, maybe we were supposed to complete the Anvil. Because if we complete the Anvil, they're no longer getting an artifact every single turn for this Dragon Spark Reactor. Heiko Yamazaki, that is a very easy target for the Fall of Lord Khanda. This only copies non-legendaries, right? Yeah, so that would not have been good with Kiki-Jiki. Yeah, that may have been a big error here, because that's another card that Reflection of Kiki-Jiki doesn't really do anything with. Okay, Suit up is the draw. That's pretty exciting. I just want to get rid of Heiko Yamazaki before anything else, though. Then I'll attack in. If we need to suit up, we can, and if we don't need to, we can Spirited Companion post-combat. If I Spirited Companion now, I do buff Portrait to 7/7 status, but it's already big enough, it's probably getting chumped. I could send Moon Circuit Hacker if I really want to suit up this turn, but since I can still cast Companion, I don't really want to throw around suit up. I'd like to keep playing stuff first. Suit up in the future. Oh, there's the Runaway Trash Bot, the 0/4. The 0/4. I think I was right to cut Shrine Steward, but I probably shouldn't have put Runaway Trash Bot in here. Alright, goodbye Trash Bot. Get in the garbage pit where you belong. Their Dragon Spark Reactor is now doing 5. We're at 18, so that is not going to kill us. Now it's doing 6. We're still at 17. I'm still feeling pretty good here, even if I think I should have completed the Anvil. I think if I completed the Anvil, we'd be in an incredible spot here, but we're still doing pretty good. Brilliant Restoration's not horrible here, because now we can pretty freely trade off stuff like our Moon Circuit Hacker and our Spirited Companion. And if they end up in grave, that's all good. We can cast them in the future. We just need any land to get our 7th mana. Definitely crack the Terrarium here so that it ends up in our graveyard. Probably crack it onto the flyer here. That would make Portrait of Michiko small enough to die to Dragon Spark Reactor, though. Because that's one less artifact on board, so I guess we don't crack Terrarium right now. You know, if we attack all, they probably block both of these so that they can get Portrait small enough to die to Reactor. If Reactor's gone, though, it's not that big of a deal because we're 1 mana away from restoring everything back. I'm probably supposed to go for the safe play here and just do that. Much as I want to get suit up value here. And I want things to end up in grave. This keeps Reactor from being big enough to shoot the Portrait immediately. I guess they can just shoot it next turn anyway, right? Because they just crack an artifact to the Anvil. And then this is at 7 and it blows up Portrait of Michiko. Yeah, I guess if they can blow it up next turn anyway, we might as well let them blow it up this turn. Because this is our last attack we're going to get with Portrait of Michiko either way. Okay, Trump block the Portrait. And that is it. That is all they want to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna get 8 damage if I suit up. That's tempting. I'm gonna go for it. That feels worth it. Drawn to a Geothermal Kami. Could draw a card and discard a card here, and then if I hit a land, I have to choose if I want to cast Geothermal Kami this turn, or and discard Brilliant Restoration, or if I discard the Kami so that I know I can Restoration next turn. Whatever, just go for it. Okay, if we hit Touch the Spirit Realm, wow. Then we keep that, drop the Kami, since I can't cast it this turn anyway. Honestly, I guess I touch the Anvil. So they have to Dragon Spark Reactor right now if they want to kill Portrait. Before this resolves, this is their last opportunity to use Reactor. Alright, so the Portrait is gone, and we are down to 11. But now we get rid of the Oni Cult Anvil. And they just have a 1/1 on board and a card in hand against all this stuff. And they're at 2 life, so I feel pretty good here. Okiba Salvage brings back the Infiltrator. With Ecologist Terrarium on board, we still just have lethal though, because we just make sure to Terrarium to make Companion 2 power, so anything we hit with deals 2 damage. And then attack with all 3 of our 2 power creatures, one of which connects for lethal. Alright, very nice. We're gonna get there through the Fable of the Mirror Breaker Onicult Anvil Dragonspark reactor. We'll find the win, so pretty nice stuff overall that game. I think my threat assessment was a little off, treating the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or the Reflection of Kikijiki, as such a big threat there. Probably should have killed that Onicult Anvil earlier in the game instead of killing the Reflection of Kikijiki. That was the biggest thing I can think of we could have done differently in that game, but outside of that, worked pretty well. Our deck just kind of really showed up there in the end. Good stuff. 1-1. Game 3 here, another definite keep thanks to all the looting we can do off of these 2 mana cards. Tempted to start with the Modern Age and just wait to ninjutsu this. Moon Circuit Hacker picking up the Modern Age. It feels fine by me. Draw a discard. No green source still, so I'll drop the Kami here, I think. Jukai Naturalist from our opponent. That's a relatively big target for Touch the Spirit Realm. It's worth dropping it right now, or would I rather just Spirited Companion? I think I'd rather... Well, if I Spirited Companion, it's not going to get ninjutsu because they'll have a 2/2 first strikeout anyway. Yeah, Spirited Companion is not the greatest thing ever right now. Kind of cool playing another Modern Age. Double Spirited Companion? Alright, one of these is just going in the grave then. Play that island past turn. We need all the lands we can get so we can work up to this Behold the Unspeakable. Could have discarded maybe Tamio's Completion. Oof. Jukai Naturalist coming in and gaining some life here as well. Alright, we flip one Modern Age, draw a card, discard off the other. We're not going to have the mana to hold up a suit up for a while. Although Reality Chip, we're not going to have the mana to play around with that for a while, but that's a bigger potentially win condition later. So I'm going to discard the suit up. Then I may touch the Spirit Realm to get rid of this Naturalist, so they don't get the cost reduction on any future enchantments for now. They do get to hit us with this Hand of Enlightenment, though. In the sky this next combat. But the Moth itself, I'm not worried about. It's a 2/4. Which we can block with our 2/3 Vector Gliders once that flips. Alright, they've drawn their 4th mana, and it's a 3rd color. Hit us for 3 with Hand of Enlightenment, or get a ninjutsu here. That's pretty annoying. The splashed in ninjutsu. So get their value off Era of Enlightenment again, another scry 2, another gain 2. Alright. We are 1 mana away from Behold the Unspeakable. I think I like Moon Circuit Hacker and Spirited Companion this turn, but I could play Companion and Reality Chip instead. Don't return Vector Glider to hand. That's pretty fine by me. Then we leave our ninjutsu card for later to pick up Behold the Unspeakable instead, potentially. Spirit Companion before anything else, so we can see if this will affect our line at all. Okay, so we know that we get to play Behold the Unspeakable next turn. Yeah, I think I'm just on Reality Chip here. Alright, there's their 2/4 Imperial Moth. The Long Reach of Night. Sack a creature, discard a card. Rather sack a creature here and just drop this Spirited Companion. Draw a card, hits an island. We will drop our Behold the Unspeakable. We're looking to draw into some more white sources. Into a potential Brilliant Restoration. Would actually be huge this game. Oh yeah, I forgot, we get to look at the top cards. So we're going to draw Michiko's Reign of Truth next turn. Which is pretty big. We've got a lot of artifacts and enchantments on board. Born to Drive. It's additional power for each creature they control. Scry 2, draw 2. Sure, I'll draw these cards. Yep. Don't mind if I do. Drop a Spirited Companion to chump block Hand of Enlightenment. And draw a card, and then probably drop Michiko's Reign of Truth and send in a just nasty big Vector Glider here. Can't even read that. I think it's a 9/10. Yep. 9/10 Vector Glider. Go on in, my beautiful child. Alright. 9 damage. They're down to 16. The life totals are now even. Our sagas have been doing a great job just giving us a bunch of value. We know we have a Plains coming up next turn as the draw. I want to cast a Brilliant Restoration this game so bad. We only have 2 Spirited Companions in grave right now, though, so it actually is not as good as it seems. Alright, Surge Hacker Mech kills our Spirited Companion and gets rid of our good chump blocker, which is unfortunate. They don't attack with Hand of Enlightenment, though, so I guess I don't have to make a big chump block there. Have our Reign of Truth buff up a Vector Glider again for another big attack. It's an 8/9. So on top of our library is an Uncharted Haven. I'm interested in holding up the mana for Tamiyo's Completion, so I need to have 4 mana up no matter what I do, and it's 3 to reconfigure Reality Chip. We have 6 mana, so if I reconfigure Reality Chip, I'll only have 3 mana up if I play the Uncharted Haven. Kinda cool with just playing a Modern Age instead then. Just discard this Uncharted Haven. Basically just using this to mill 1, get closer to our next draw. Yeah. Because I'm just going to play it as a white source anyway, so I might as well play the untapped one this turn. Now we have all the mana we'll ever need, because we can afford our big rare. And we're holding up Tamiyo's Completion if we need it. Send in a Vector Glider here. Block with the Imperial Moth. Is this an Omaiwa Moshinderu? Or is it just a chump? Just a chump. Fall of Lord Konda will exile our vision of the unspeakable. That's very sad. Like, it doesn't really matter on board. It's like a 2-2, maybe a 3-3. So it's not that high impact on the board. It's just the fact that we could have ninjutsu'd it to our hand that's rough. Go to combat. Animus of Night's Reach attacks as a 4-power menace creature. I think I'd rather just shut off the Hand of Enlightenment, this 6/6 first strike thing here. If I shut it off, though, they can crew the Surge Hacker mech in response. Guess we let them go to combat. We just Tamiya's completion, end of turn. Okay, they're gonna send both in. Uses all abilities. Okay, I think I'm completing Hand of Enlightenment. And taking 10, maybe? A lot of damage, but we get to play a lot of blockers with Searchlight Companion next turn. Sure. Down to 6. There's the Brilliant Restoration. What's in our graveyard? 3 Spirited Companions? Okay, discard a card, discard an artifact or enchantment here, discard Moon Circuit Hacker, I guess. Do I just Brilliant Restoration, get 3 companions on board, and a Moon Circuit Hacker? Or do I Searchlight Companion? Probably do Brilliant Restoration. Yeah, whatever. We'll do it. Woo! Brilliant Restoration on all the companions. Adorable. Now we got all the blockers we need for Menace. If they get a flyer out of nowhere, though, we'll just die. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Kiba Reckoner Raid. That's painful. At 6 life here, draining us for life is pretty big. Okay. Only got 10 cards left in our deck. There's too much value. 10 cards left in the deck. I don't actually even want a reality chip here anymore. Probably just attacking with the portrait and the flyers. Yeah, we need to focus on killing our opponent instead of drawing more cards right now. Focus on ending the game. 10 cards in library, good lord. They have like 20 still? Yeah, we've drawn a lot of cards. Just can't even hold all this value. I believe this counts as mana value 4 still, because the front half is mana value 4, so I think Fall of Lord Konda can exile Animus. We'll find out, though. Maybe the Fall of Lord Konda will exile absolutely nothing when I cast it. Okay, they're going to chump block with the Dokuchi Silencer. Alright, let's see. Okay, it is mana value 4. Nice. Now I can Geothermal Kami to gain some life. Because another defender is not really what we need, so we'll just have another Fall of Lord Konda ready if they play another 4 mana value or greater creature. Okay, they get their 1/3 defender now. Drain us for another life with Okiba Reckoner Raid. Pass the turn. Play our land here. Yeah, our Searchlight Companion, we're just gonna attack with everybody now, right? Yeah, I have a Searchlight Companion coming down. Let's attack with literally everybody. Alright, they are going to scoop them up. They can't find a good way to survive and still have a winning chance there. So it's going to be 2-1 as we head into round 4. Here we go, round 4. Beautiful hand mana-wise. Definitely a keep here. Drop that turn 2 Modern Age. I want to play anything but aggressive red decks. I'll take any other matchup you've got, Arena, please. So this is going to be our third red-black deck here for the full Karmic Justice. Mono red so far, that is threatening. They don't go for the 2 damage with Ronin. They must be holding up Kami's Flare or something here. Or they just want to discard it to draw a card, try to hit their second color maybe. Something like that going on. Let's drop the Modern Age here. Discard extra blue sources. As we work our way towards quadruple white. Yeah, they're just discarding the Ronin to draw a card. They are blue-red. Okay, so it's another Rakdos deck. I would no play this turn from them. Gonna play... 1, 2, 3, 4 white. Guess we ditch the forest here because we just pick up another with Terrarium later when we need it. Playing Modern Age again this turn. Start working on getting our Vector Gliders down. Now I might discard Suit Up and then we're going to Terrarium for another white source later because I can play a green source this turn and play Kami next turn. I think I actually discard Suit Up, play Haven. Oh, I already have a green. Oh my god. I am the king of brain puns lately. I was gonna say now we have a Kami, so we want the green, but we already had the green the whole time. Secretly. Definitely discard the island. That's a very easy choice. Oh, I can't believe I I did that. That's okay, because we're not even going to want to play Brilliant Restoration turn 7, because we still have 0 artifacts or enchantments in grave. So we can wait on this, but that is embarrassing. It was a dumb play. I kind of like Terrarium, grab a white, make our Vector Glider bigger. We could Kami the other one later. But we make this a 3/4 and it blocks their Heiko Yamazaki. Yeah, that seems good to me. It also gets an artifact in our graveyard. And worst case scenario, if they do some kind of trick, then that also puts another enchantment in our graveyard. Both of these things help fuel the Brilliant Restoration. Just hope they don't have enchantment-based removal like Tamio's Completion that keeps it on the board when they remove it. Ooh. Replication Specialist can be pretty deadly if they follow it up with a good artifact. Nothing we can do about it though, no removal in hand. Just gonna have to accept whatever it does. Casting a Vector Glider seems fine here, but I can wait till next turn so I have the mana to immediately do it. Just play Companion. We've got quadruple white in hand already, so I might even Haven on blue. Just play 2 blue spells in one turn. Yeah. Twin Shot Sniper coming down. 2 damage to any target, and they get a duplicate of it, so they do 4 damage to one target. Yeah, unfortunately, it's looking like Replication Specialist is just going to take over this game. It's the kind of card you need immediate removal for, and if you don't, it's just going to take things over. It's one of those removal check cards, which is pretty unfortunate. We failed the removal check. I don't need to chump yet. Take 3. Ooh, Machiko's Reign of Truth. Send in as much as we can in the sky here. It's set up to recast the Reign of Truth. Yeah, I think I'd rather recast Reign of Truth than Vector Glider right now. It is actually looking pretty good on the board state with Reign of Truth, being able to buff it up. Now we've got a 4/3 to trade into the Heiko Yamazaki if they want to attack with that. And it has to attack alone to get its value, which is probably not happening. I'm pretty happy they dropped Iron Hoof Boar this turn. If they waited one more turn, they'd get 2 Iron Hoof Boars. Which would be absolutely devastating. Okay, well, if they have the removal to kill the Geothermal Kami, it's still a very big deal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. It's not the... We're not dying as fast as we did round 1, but we are getting blown up by red aggro plays. Bringing back 3 cards here. It's got to be good enough, because I can't really wait anymore. Got like no lands left in the deck now, at least. Can't afford to play anything this turn anyway, so I think I'd rather actually play the blue source. I guess I already played land for turn. Alright, we have to hold up all the blockers in the world here. Just isn't even actually that many blockers. Oh my god. 2 Iron Hoof Boars at the top end here. Yeah, we're just dead. Trample haste shenanigans too much. Pretty sure we're dead on board too. The most damage we can stop is stopping 3 damage by doing that, stopping 3 damage by doing that, and then stopping 1 there and 1 there, and we take 9 and we're dead on board. I could stop 3 damage over there, but then I only stop that. I still take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's exact lethal no matter what I do. Brutal. Double Iron Hoof Boar, that was just devastating. And Replication Specialist without any removal. Our low removal count really killed us that game. Alright, we are on the play here with a turn 2 Spirited Companion. We've got Modern Age, Behold the Unspeakable, and Brilliant Restoration. This looks very spicy. My one true hope for this game is that, fingers crossed, we can play against something other than a red deck. Come on, Arena. Alright, Swamp turn 1. Not necessarily a red deck. I like dropping the Spirited Companion first, so if I draw one of my 2 Ninjutsu cards, I can immediately go for value with it before my opponent gets a blocker on their board. But there's an argument for playing the Modern Age first because it gets it to flip into the Vector Glider sooner. The other thing that's nice about playing the Modern Age later is the later we are in the game, the more we know for sure what we want to discard. So it looks like green-black from our opponent. Tends to be an enchantment graveyard recursion kind of value deck. There's a Papercraft Decoy, and we draw into the Reign of Truth. That'll be nice in the future. I think this turn we're playing the Modern Age and playing an Uncharted Haven on white. I think I do want to block Papercraft Decoy though, so no attacks here. We'll just play Modern Age. Tamiyo's Completion. It's a bit slow, and we can Brilliant Restoration for it anyway. Add it to the Restoration stack. Yeah, I'm going to hold up Companion as a blocker, make sure they can't ninjutsu off Decoy. Alright, they're going to pass turn. We draw a Suit Up, which is probably the discard. It's pretty awkward in here because I like to tap out pretty much all the time. Play a Kami, pick up Companion next turn. I don't know if that's the play. Because with Brilliant Restoration in hand, I'm actually currently just wanting to chump block with Spirited Companion and all that kind of stuff, so I probably just want to play Searchlight Companion this turn. That being said, that does still leave Suit Up as probably the discard. And I guess I could have discarded Geothermal Kami. But I still like that for maybe picking up a Behold later for even more value. Alright, Spirit for Spirit trade. Spirit for Spirit trade it is. Perfectly balanced. A second Papercraft Decoy. And we draw an island. Just need to draw one more white source to just start going ham. Hold the Unspeakable's pretty solid right now, so we'll just play it. We actually need 7 mana for Restoration, so we need 2 more lands, one of which needs to be white. If I really want to stop ninjutsu, I have to hold 3 blockers up even though they're not damaging me. If I'm really worried about like a Kappa attack wrecker from opponent, then I guess I don't attack here. I'm only getting 2 damage in anyway. Our deck doesn't really win by chip damage, it's like overwhelming card advantage. So let's just make sure we don't get Kappa attack record, I guess. It's probably worth the 2 life. To play it safe there. Ninja's Kunai. This is the play. Slap that onto a Searchlight Companion. We draw into the Reality Chip. Scry 2, draw 2. Definitely want this Plains. Not so sure about the Trash Bot. We can throw that in the garbage bin. Alright, now we have all the mana we need for Restoration next turn. We have 6 mana up, so I can Kami and Michiko's Reign of Truth. Sure. See if we can get them to shoot our Searchlight Companion, I guess. Throw all the +X on Companion. And attack with that. It's gonna be attacking for like 6 here. They might kunai it and let us keep our Vector Glider. They're gonna kunai the Vector Glider, alright. Awkward thing again is now if I really want to stop them from ninjutsuing, I have to hold this back, but at this point, go for it. Because if it is Kapatek Wrecker, they're not getting rid of Behold the Unspeakable. And if it's anything else, I don't think it's gonna be that wild. And it's worth not dealing 5 damage to opponent there. So now we have a Modern Age and a Tamiyo's Completion in graveyard for our Brilliant Restoration. Opponent still has 5 cards to play around with, and they haven't played a land for a few turns, I think. So they're non-land cards. They are going to send in a decoy. We're just trying to draw a card here. I'm going to let that in because if they really wanted to get ninjutsu, they could have just attacked the Searchlight Companions. I don't think it's like they're trying to get ninjutsu value. I think they're just trying to draw an out here. I think it matters what we buff. They can chump block either way. It's better if they chump block in the sky though, because then they don't draw a card off the decoys. Okay. We're going to Behold the Unspeakable again. Guess I might as well do that right now. So their creatures have 0 power, so they can't play a You Are Already Dead. Not that that would be that bad for me if they did. Alright, I guess they do get to chump here still. Yeah, we're kind of just letting them crack back fully at this point. Because they made it very clear there's no ninjutsu. They're just running to draw some cards. And get 1 card draw on blocks there. What is this channel? Exile an artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield under its own control at the beginning of the next end step. You can save something from a removal spell. Or fog one of their creatures, prevent all of its combat damage. Interesting. Alright, Tales of Master Sashiro is the play. It's going to get a +1/+1 counter onto one of their creatures, give it vigilance. Going to do it again next turn. Get our Scry 2, draw 2 again. Moon Circuit Hacker, Modern Age. These are good draws. I'll absolutely take them. Slam down a Modern Age and see what we're drawing into. Another island. We'll discard one of them then. 5 mana here. I like playing the Reality Chip, seeing what's on top of the library. It's Spirited Companion. Could equip this, but I don't have the mana to play the companion as well. It's going to be 3 mana to equip, only have 1 mana left afterwards. But that's pretty nice for the future. Touch the Spirit Realm. Don't really need to exile any of these things. Maybe I go Island, so we're open to Moon Circuit Hacker here. And then if we don't Moon Circuit Hacker, then we'll just equip a Reality Chip to somebody. Alright, very good with these trades. It's going to get their board clear. Fine by me. And they get no value off of the Papercraft Decoys, Leave the Battlefield ability, or Tales of Master Sashiro's. Tales of Master Sashiro's +1/+1 counter doesn't go anywhere either. I'm equipping the Reality Chip to Spirited Companion because I don't want to leave myself open to getting hit really hard by a single removal spell. Now they have to choose if they want to stop me from drawing cards off the top, or if they want to stop my biggest threat if they have a removal spell. So play Harmonious Emergence here. Turn one of their swamps into a 4/5 Vigilance. Single green mana up. I guess they have a green and a black up. They could have -2/-2 or something here. Ooh, actually, if it's -2/-2, that is really bad for me if I block. Because I would block and they'd -2/-2 the Spirited Companion, which would turn Portrait Michiko into a 4/4. They'd kill both my creatures. Yeah, I'll actually just do that. Same with if it's Master's Rebuke. 2 mana instant. Damage to a creature equal to the power of something. Either of those cards would 2-for-1 me pretty hard. Alright, discard this Plains. Get this Uncharted Haven out of the way. Modern Age is the next card on top. I'm just gonna fly through my deck here and just run out of cards to play. Actually kind of want to keep Vision because I'm going to have so many cards in hand. So we'll get rid of our Ninjutsu. Play Spirited Companion to draw this land out of the way. See what's next after that. Another land. Alright, so we are done with all that. Then I touch the Spirit Realm on the swamp. And I have 9 power on the board to attack with this turn. 1 off of lethal. There's probably a way to find lethal this turn on board. All of that. All of those draws that we just went through. Maybe not. It is Lethal Exploit, which would have killed Portrait and Companion had I blocked there. I'm surprised they didn't just exploit the Spirited Companion during their end step, because it would have stopped me from drawing all those cards this turn. But you never know how somebody's going to hit off Reality Chip. They just have 2 lands in a row and get nowhere off of it. Alright, so our opponent's at 3. They're dead in the sky, dead in the air to our Vision of the Unspeakable. Two, three, 4, 5. We've got 5 cards in grave for Restoration. So if our opponent finds a way out of this, we've got that huge Restoration later as well, but looks like they did not find a way out. That is going to be 3 and 2 now. So again, no matter what, nice average win rate run in this draft. We are now in round 6. Another pretty sweet hand. Definitely a keep. Gonna have Uncharted Haven on blue turn 1 though. Ooh, wow, now we have Prosperous Thief. I might get greedy here. Our opponent's on the play, so it's so unlikely we get Ninjutsu here. But if I can Ninjutsu a Spirited Companion to hand, I'm just gonna be so happy. Modern Age. That's a solid chance now. If they just play another Saga next turn. Spirited Companion to Prosperous Thief, live the dream. Ninjutsu Dream Team. Come on, I just have another Spirited Companion to drop down. Opponents making their Modern Age choices, drawing, discarding a card. First discard was an Island. It's kind of a mirror match here, both blue-white. Now they discarded an Automated Artificer. Oh my god, do we get to do it? Do we get to do the thing? I'd be so happy if we get to do the thing. Might just Wanderer's Intervention before Declare Blocker's Step though. Declare Blocker Step! So it happens, guaranteed. They can kill our Prosperous Thief, but they can't stop us from putting Companion in hand. I hope they don't kill the Thief, though, because it'll give us the treasure token we need to immediately recast the Companion. They didn't kill the Thief. Beautiful. Full value. Full value. I'm tempted to start playing Modern Ages so we can get Vector Gliders down instead now, though. Now that we've gotten that Spirited Companion value guaranteed. Could even play Terrarium because I do need to hit a land next turn. I guess I'll play Modern Age. If I don't hit a land next turn, I can just play Terrarium. Probably discarding Wanderer's Intervention here. Will not matter for a while. Or I could discard the second Modern Age. Uncharted Haven. I like that it's a land. I don't like that it comes into play tapped. How greedy am I? Pretty greedy. I think I'm just going to ditch it. Everything in our hand's already cheap enough to cast, and Terrarium's going to get us the 4th land guaranteed. We also have plenty of ways to draw to get to the next lands and draw and discard. I think we can discard the comes into play tapped land here. So, Network Terminal into Selfless Samurai from our opponent. We do hit another land. It's an island. And Tamio's Completion. So now I can play this island to play Modern Age and Spirited Companion this turn, guaranteed. Discard Terrarium here? No, that's a 2-for-1. The companions are 2-for-1s. I might discard Completion. Still have 2 removal spells up. And I guess since I've touched Spirit Realm and Completion, we can discard an Intervention now. I'm gonna draw and discard again here. Geothermal Kami. I can grab the Forest for You off of Ecologist's Terrarium. Then I can value play you with these Spirited Companions. I only need 1 companion to do that. Trade into one of these. Trade into the Samurai it is. Pass the turn. Another Modern Age from our opponent. And a Mobilizer Mech that requires 3 power to crew it. So not doing anything right now, but they only really need to play 1 more creature to get there. Alright, flip to Modern Age, draw and discard a card. Ooh, we have a Trash Bot. Fill our grave with artifacts and enchantments. This turn we play Trash Bot and put a counter on it. I guess goodbye Plains. Hoping not to draw our quadruple white card anytime soon. I can actually play Trashbot and Companion this turn instead. That way I'm open to playing Geothermal Kami next turn if I want to. And if I don't want to play Geothermal Kami next turn, I can still just sack Terrarium next turn. It's gonna be an interesting matchup. We're both sitting here dirtling around with all this saga value and stuff. Got a bunch of mana up here. Kami plus Companion feels pretty good to me, but I want to try to get attacking. And I can do that if I crack Terrarium on Trashbot, it turns into a 3/5. Crack Terrarium. Could even crack Terrarium on Vector Glider and attack with a 3/4 in the sky, but I think I'd rather get a big old Trashbot. Big old pile of garbage. Completion on my garbage. On my poop. Well, I can complete their Vector Glider and still have a Touch the Spirit Realm for something else. And we can attack in with the rest of our group then. So I can still be getting in some damage this turn. Could also just have gone for Geothermal Kami there, pick up the Companion, just don't attack this turn. Futurist Sentinel. Wow, so if they crew the mech, they crew the Sentinel as well, but they need creatures to do that, and if I touch the Spirit Realm on Vector Glider, they don't have creatures. Feels good to me. Then we will play Geothermal Kami post-combat this turn. Pick up the Companion. Wanderer's Intervention on a Vector Glider. Or if they draw into a 3-power creature, that is bad, because then they can crew Mech and Sentinel every turn. But if they don't, they're down a couple cards here with these vehicles just not being able to do anything. I can tap the vehicles to draw and discard a card with Network Terminal at least. And that is the play. Intercessor's Arrest on our Geothermal Kami. Drop our Spirited Companion. See what we're drawing into. A Suit Up. Not bad. Drop the next one. Ishiko's Reign of Truth. That is going to be just straight lethal next turn. I'm not really going to use Suit Up as a trick, so I'll just get extra damage out of it and draw the card right now. Put them down to 7. We definitely have lethal this turn with our Reign of Truth. Another draw discard from our opponent. They do get a 2-power creature out, but that's not big enough to crew the Mobilizer Mech. So they have nothing in the sky, so we can Reign of Truth Vector Glider. And that's game. Yep, they scoop them up immediately. That is going to be 4 and 2 now for this draft deck. Now pretty much breaking even. Well, this is a risky keep, but white is the most important color in our deck because we have the quadruple white card and it's the most heavily played color. It's not a maybe blue. So I'm just going to hope these Spirited Companions can get us a green or blue source so we can cast more spells here. Just going to ride the Spirited Companions to victory. It'll all work out. Did draw another white card. That's a good draw. Another thing we can cast here. Behold the Unspeakable is a little bit more sketchy because we need double blue for that card. There we go. There's the first blue source. It's looking good. Opponent did start with a turn 1 Okiba Reckoner raid. Get that Nezumi Road Captain out here. 2/2 Menace. Deadly card. Very good card to ninjutsu back to hand. And Runaway Trashbot. Alright. Don't think I'm going to touch the Spirit Realm to kill a Road Captain. I think I'm just going to play another Spirited Companion, and if they attack with it, I'd honestly double block here, I think. Okay, now... With 2 Geothermal Kamis in hand, I'm not so sure I double block an Izumi Road Captain. Because now we have a green source if we need it, if we want it here to play these Kamis and get Spirited Companion value. Yeah, I'll get the green source here, and we're just not going to block the Road Captain. We'll let them ninjutsu whatever they want. Dang. I was hoping they wouldn't attack because we are threatening the double block. Oh wow, they don't have a ninjutsu. They do have a Virus Beetle. Goodbye, 3rd white source. Yeah. There's the 2nd blue source for Behold the Unspeakable. Mana's working out super well here. Great draws for us. Just gonna play huge value stuff here. Sack a creature, discard a card. I like being able to double block this Road Captain now, so don't really want to sack a creature. Guess I'll just discard this companion. I'm just playing Behold the Unspeakable next turn. Could discard Reign of Truth, though. It's a pretty big win con, though. Does a lot of damage to opponent, but I think we get a ton of ways to outvalue our opponent here. We don't need the Reign of Truth to be doing damage. Yeah, I'll dump the Reign of Truth here. Okay. Charted Haven is the draw. We're just going to slam down Behold the Unspeakable and probably discard that Uncharted Haven. Can attack in with Kami freely now. Kami of Terrible Secrets. Our opponent gains a life and draws a card. Okay, scry 2, draw 2. I'll keep Modern Age, get rid of the planes. Drawn to Modern Age and Trash Bot. Could have 6 mana up here. That's enough to play Kami and Spirited Companion, but with the Kami we'll pick up Behold the Unspeakable. Or we could play Kami and Modern Age. I think I like Kami Spirited Companion here. Pass turn. That's an onboard trade. That's also a fine trade. I have no more ways to bounce these Spirited Companions, so I may as well double block Road Captain. More enchantments to graveyard if we draw into Restoration. This does make their Animus of Night's Reach bigger, though, since I am putting 3 creatures in my grave. Naomi, Pillar of Order. I'm going to deal with that thing. Probably going to touch the Spirit Realm on that. We have 7 mana to play around with. That's not enough to play Touch the Spirit Realm and Behold the Unspeakable. So I guess no beholding here. Touch the Spirit Realm and Trash Bot for now. Suppose. It seems fine. I'm tempted to hold this for the Modern Age. But, I mean, as you saw that turn, we need a lot of mana to do everything we want to do. Especially because we're going to draw 2 more cards. Yeah, I'll just play this. So at this point now we're just like digging through our deck to get a Brilliant Restoration to go absolutely wild. Because we're going to make some blocks here, get this engraved too. Currently it's going to get us 2 Spirit Companions and Michiko's Reign of Truth, which is already pretty much a good amount of impact for 7 mana, I would say. The Fall of Lord Konda. That's a good draw. Gets rid of that Goshintai, so they can't keep getting all these 1/1s. I don't have the mana to do that and Behold the Unspeakable, though, so I guess I Behold the Unspeakable and Modern Age this turn. Wait a turn on the on getting rid of the Goshintai. Or I could wait a turn on Behold and just play Fall of Lord Konda and Modern Age. Yeah, let's just Modern Age first, because we're doing that either way. The Blossoming Sands. Discard Suit Up. Because I actually do want this to be able to play... God, what is it? The quadruple white rare Brilliant Restoration. Now if I play Fall of Lord Konda and Blossoming Sands, my opponent could Virus Beetle us really hard. Kind of scared of that. I'm just gonna run into it. Let's just see. Well, I could just keep Blossoming Hands for now, actually. I think that seems fine to me. Keep the Blossoming Sands. Next turn we play Blossoming Sands Behold. This way we don't get Virus Beetled. Imperial Oath. That's a big one. That's a big one. We need to go wide fast. At least Behold the Unspeakable is going to keep the attack off of us for one turn. Give us a little more time to draw into more creatures. Give us a little more time to flip these Sagas into more blockers as well. They don't have a great attack this turn, but they will next turn start getting to the point where they get to start going wide. And they can trade the Animus into our Geothermal Kami, that's fine. So now we get rid of their Menace threat. Pick up a Terrarium. Draw a card, discard a card. Rather discard Sands now because we can Terrarium for the planes and still play Behold. I'm going to play this. I'm going to want 4 white sources. Alright. Next turn we flip the Modern Age into a creature and the Fall of Lord Konda into a creature, and we'll have Wanderer's Intervention up. So we'll have all the blockers in the world. We'll scry 2 and draw 2. Looking for like Brilliant Restoration. We might, if Brilliant Restoration's on the bottom of our deck, I think we lose this game. If it's like our last card, I think we have to hit Brilliant Restoration. We have to hit it soon enough that we won't kill ourselves by casting it and drawing 2 off of Spirited Companions. Like, it's too much value, too many cards. Alright, scry 2, draw 2, another Modern Age. A little sketchy. And another land here. 13 cards in deck, whatever. Trying to kill with flyers now. Reality Chip? God, it's too much card. It's too much. If I lose this game to milling myself, then so be it. It was all worth it. This will be how the final game ends. Play the Reality Chip and see what's on top of our library. Searchlight Companion. Let's not do much. Probably make our Vector Glider bigger with this Terrarium. And start holding lands in hand to make the Vision of the Unspeakable bigger. And we're going to try, hopefully, just pressing them in the sky now before we mill ourselves out completely. And honestly, just kind of blocking with Reality Chip. Virus Beetle, goodbye island. Now Behold the Unspeakable of their own. That's rude. You can't reverse Behold us. Yeah, that is pretty bad. Slows down our damage here. It's going to give them some big card draw coming up. Another Modern Age. No, it's too much card draw. It's too much card draw. I'm discarding the Wanderer's Intervention anyway. I can't actually Modern Age right now very well, because if I do, I draw a card, discard a card, I discard the Searchlight Companion, I guess. Yeah, probably just play Searchlight Companion, because I'm not going to want to discard that Tamiyo's Completion. This This is still 1 damage, isn't it? Cannot read that. It's a 1/4. Okay, we'll poke for 1 damage. Yeah, there we go. I am going to get virus beetled again. Oh, they're going to play an instant in their upkeep, so they get to draw the full 4 off Behold. Makes sense. You got it. They got to catch up to our card draw somehow. Pretty sad here. I think our restoration's just too low to matter this game. I think we'll die if we cast it. We'll draw 2 more off this Behold. I could fail to find on Terrarium. But I'll draw 2 more off these 2 companions. Reign of Truth is immediately about 1 billion damage, though. So, we'll see. It's honestly my biggest fear is just milling out this game. Not that scared of whatever my opponent just drew into. Should still be okay. But we'll find out soon enough there. March of Wretched Sorrow. They gain a bunch of life and kill our biggest flyer. Sure. Okay, we draw Tamiyo's Completion. There's another Terrarium on top of our deck. Draw a card, discard that Terrarium. We're down to 8 cards in library. We'll draw, discard 1 more time after that. It'll get us a flyer. It will get us a flyer, and it'll get us Brilliant Restoration next turn. I'm straight up milling out this game. It's just... that's just a fact of life at this point. Probably attack with Trashbot now, because it's going to come back from Restoration. Trade into 2 of their creatures, then bring it back and kill more stuff again later. That's pretty nice. Kill their Trashbot, kill their 2/2. Eight cards. Oh my god, I'm about to mill 3 next turn. Basically 5, because I'll have a Behold the Unspeakable on board. Spirited Companion, sure. Probably gonna have to complete their Vision of the Unspeakable to keep them out of the sky. Oh. End step, complete the Vision. Now we draw for turn, we draw and discard this Prosperous Thief. Restoration ourselves down to like no cards. Tamiyo's Completion, what are we completing now? A 2/2, I guess? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Off the flyer. Is that 17? That's a 17/18? Decline. Decline. I have to draw these cards, though. And this card. Oh my god. For 18 in the sky here? No, please no removal. Please no removal. Please no removal. If for 1 more, if I
if I put the hacker down, I guess. But then I can't recast the flyer, which is pretty important. Oh, I probably should have cracked Terrarium. That's what I should have done. Played the land, cracked a Terrarium for 1 more damage. Alright, they're at 4. Oh no, I mill myself out next turn. No, I mill myself out. Maybe they'll concede. Maybe they don't see it. But I actually straight up mill myself out next turn. Because I draw for my draw step and I'm down to 2 cards in library. Then I have to draw a card, discard. Then I have to scry 2, draw 2. I straight up mill myself out next turn. I need my opponent to scoop. If I have any chance here. Drew 1 too many cards. Too much value. Come on, just scoop them up. Look how big this Vector Glider is. How are you going to beat that? You can take like 17 again. Alright, they're not going to concede. 1 card too few in the library. Literally 1 card off. That's so sad. Such a sad way to end it, but hey, we went to Value Town and back with that tech. Good lord. So if Brilliant Restoration was 1 card higher in the library, we would have won. Or if I maybe chose not to pull a land out with one of those Terramorphic or whatever thingies. Terrariums at some point, we would have won. I don't know, there was definitely a hindsight path to victory in that game, but still pretty happy with a 4-3 run here with this pretty silly deck going after Brilliant Restoration late game plays. Biggest flaws in the deck, it's pretty slow, but then it just grinds out a bunch of value. It's pretty slow and there's not a lot of win conditions is the other issue, so we can end up milling ourselves out like that. So those flaws definitely came into play in our 3 losses. 2 losses to some really aggressive stuff, and then the 1 loss to just not being able to close out the game quickly enough, just 1 turn off. But yeah, super fun deck, super fun day of gameplay regardless, and still a positive win rate, getting 1,400 gems and 3 packs out of this event. But that is going to end today's video. As always, if you'd like to see some more like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send some more of these videos to you in your recommended feeds. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.